Success leaves clues. You know, back in 2019, February 14th to be exact, I was able to get control of and conquer a 20 plus year pornography addiction. And I'm so grateful to say that over the last 5 years, I've gone on to help close to 1,000 other men break the chains of their pornography addiction. We built a massive movement here that has reached and impacted millions of people's lives. We built a top ranked podcast that has made it into the top 100 here in the US. We built a second podcast here that in just the first 3 months, we were able to make it into the top 125 here in the States. And many of the lessons that we've used and many of the insights that we've gathered to build the foundation of Rebuilt Recovery, to build the foundation of our core curriculum, Rebuilt Your Life, has been centered around growth-centric personal development principles that the highest achievers, the most successful people in the world use on a day-to-day basis to build their bodies, to build their mindsets, to build successful relationships, but more importantly, to build wealth, to build empires. I myself, for the longest time, have identified as an entrepreneur. And many of the men that guided me early on in my journey were relationships that were built through business masterminds, through entrepreneurship circles. So what I want to share with you today in this episode of The Rebuilt Man are the 7 key lessons that I learned from spending time with millionaires that helped me break the chains of my addiction, that helped me remain to stay porn-free for the last 5+ years, and have helped me to go on to build the world's #1 coaching recovery program for those that are struggling with pornography addiction. So these are 7 key lessons that millionaires use on a day-to-day basis, that the highest achieving people use, that you can steal to apply to your life, to apply to your recovery, to help give you back control of your life. Real quickly though, before we dive into that, guys, and take a quick reminder and tell you who we are and what it is we're doing here. This is the Rebuilt Man podcast. My name is Coach Frank Rich, CEO and founder of Rebuilt Recovery, and it is our mission to help men become better men by quitting porn and rebuilding their lives. So if you're watching here on the YouTube channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn those post notifications on. We have recently discovered that over 60% of the men that view these videos on a regular basis are not subscribed to the channel. So you want to make sure you never miss another upcoming video. Hit that subscribe button right now. And guys, if you're listening on the audio, take a moment after today's episode and leave us a 5-star rating and written review. It would mean the absolute world to me. But the 7 key lessons, the 7 tips, the 7 daily habits that millionaires use to build their businesses, to build wealth, to build their empires, that you can steal and hijack to use in your recovery from pornography addiction. Lesson number 1 is to begin with the end in mind. Anybody that has achieved anything of significance in the business world, in the financial world, in building massive wealth, started with a goal. They knew exactly what it was they were aiming at, and they were able to take that plan, take that vision, and break it down into an actionable plan. When it comes to your freedom from pornography, you will never get on the other side of this thing if you can't begin to envision living a life free of pornography. It is not one that you have to manage. It is not an addiction that you have to control every single day. You can transcend this. You can create a new identity, but must be clear on that before you ever start. So start with the end in mind. And once you have that, it leads us into lesson number 2. And is that your structure equals your freedom. Once you know who it is you're trying to become, you must take that vision and break it down into a day-to-day plan. Structure equals freedom is a term that is coined from Jocko Willink's book, Extreme Ownership. And also a great lesson that I learned from a mentor of mine, Craig Ballantyne, author of The Perfect Day Formula. Your freedom from pornography will be determined by your ability to create structure in your habits, in your routines, and even in how you handle and process the triggers that have in the past led you to acting out with pornography. If you could wake up tomorrow and live out the perfect life, could you duplicate that on a day-to-day basis? And that's what structure equals freedom means. It's what the highest achievers in the world do. It's why their days look very mundane and monotonous to those sitting outside of it. But when you're in it, That's where the real freedom, because nothing is keeping you a slave other than what you decide. Tip number 3, lesson number 3 is pursue progress over perfection. Pursue progress over perfection. So many men, they make this goal of 90 days of purity, 90 days of consistent streaks. And the minute they slip off that path, it's almost as if the goal can no longer be achieved. And they throw in the towel and they spiral back into their old ways of living. Pursue progress over perfection in building a wealth. Pursue progress and perfection over building your body, and pursue progress over perfection in creating freedom in your life from pornography. Number 4 is learn from your mistakes. If you're pursuing progress versus perfection, there will be mistakes that you made. You will hit challenges, setbacks, and roadblocks in this journey. But every single one of those is not an opportunity to beat yourself up. It's not an opportunity to give up. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to evolve, to equip yourself with a better understanding of how you can't make that mistake in the future. So lesson number 4 here is to learn from your mistakes. Lesson number 5 is you are a byproduct of those that you spend the most time with. If you want to become a millionaire, hang out with 5 millionaires, and I guarantee you will become the 6th. If you want to be fit, jacked, and have 6-pack abs, hang out with 5 people that are fit, jacked, and have 6-pack abs, and you will become the 6th one. If you want to be a drug addict, spend your time with 5 people that are addicted to drugs, and I can guarantee it, you will become the 6th one. And if you want to become free of pornography, spend time with those that are already living a life free of pornography, and in time, you will become the next one. You are a byproduct of those that you spend the most time with. Lesson number 6 is discipline in its purest form is an act of self-love. You don't make $1 million not being a disciplined individual. You don't build an incredible physique not being a disciplined individual. You don't get free of pornography lacking discipline in your life. But discipline is not a bad thing. Discipline is the structure that you put in your life to guide you to reaching your fullest potential. God placed you on this earth for a reason. He gave you dreams, hopes that you want to accomplish. And he paired that with unique gifts and skill sets that you must work on developing. But nowhere in God's design for your life did he envision you being addicted to pornography. You want to love God? You want to love yourself? Begin to take the steps that are necessary through acting out discipline in your life so that you can conquer and get free of this addiction. So lesson number 6 is discipline in its purest form is an act of self-love. And lesson number 7, your body is a temple. One body we were all given. Are you pushing it? Are you challenging it? Are you equipping yourself? Are you building yourself up to be the man that God has called you to be? Are you challenging yourself on a daily basis, seeking out hard things, seeking out adversity, so you can grow, develop, and build yourself up to become a stronger human being, to become a stronger man? 7 lessons, guys, straight from some of the most successful people in the world. Begin with the end in mind. Structure equals freedom. Pursue progress over perfection. Learn from your mistakes. You are a byproduct of those you spend the most time with. Discipline in its purest form is an act of self-love, and your body is a temple. If you truly embrace these tips, those guys, if you truly make these the standard at which you live your life, I can guarantee in time you will conquer this addiction. You will reboot, rewire your internal desires to no longer even think about seeking out pornography. You will get on the other side of this. You will create the identity of the man that no longer struggles, and you'll begin to live out a porn-free life, the life that you were here and called to live. These must become the standards, guys. But you need a process. You need a plan. You need a proven formula to help get you on the other side of this. And we've put that together for you. So if you visit rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps or click the link down there in the show notes below, I just put together a brand new free training that will walk you through our approach, our method of 12 steps to conquer this addiction. Rebuiltrecovery.com/12 steps. Get access to this free training but begin to live out these lessons, guys. Begin to live out these as the standard on which you design and live your life. God bless you guys. Coach Frank of the Rebuild Man, we love you. And we'll see you in the next one.